Okay, so whether you like him or not, you're not gonna be able to disagree with me. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna be able to disagree with me, but if you do disagree with me, I feel like you honestly just capping. Like, you know what I'm saying? You honestly just capping, because we can obviously see that there has never been a president that has ever, at least in our lifetime, at least within the past 100 years, at least in the time period since they had video, there's never been a president that has had this level of status. And so yeah, this is actually not even a political video. This is a factual, or whether you're a Republican or Democrat, I'm basically going to be pointing out to you guys what makes Donald Trump, what gives him the status, a level of a god. The reason why Donald Trump is a god is because people literally, the definition of a god is, I'll put it up there, but from my understanding, it's a deity. It's someone that you worship, someone that you feel is above you, divinely above you. You feel like you have to be obedient to. They're your leader. A god is above you, and the person the one or person that you follow to the death, really. And it is part of your belief system that they are the ones that you're loyal to and you worship. People who support Donald Trump, that's what Donald Trump has. Donald Trump has people who literally worship him. Donald Trump has people who literally will do anything, believe in anything he says, and will do anything he says to do. Which is exactly why they banned him from social media, because even though he's not really a god for real, people feel like he's a god. And since people feel like he's a god and that he has that much influence and that much power and they worship him like that, people who know that he's not a god, like the social people who run these social media platforms and the powers that be, they gotta put that, they had to shut it down, because like, it's just crazy that one person can literally control the trajectory of where this country goes. You know, it makes it even funnier. It's like Christians. So I'm a Christian. You got Christians who are Trump supporters. I feel like they worship Donald Trump, more than they worship Jesus. They will literally put their life on the line to support Donald Trump before they put their life on the line for Jesus. That's astounding to me. Jesus said you can't serve two masters. Either you're going to love one and hate the other. So he compared himself to money. He said either you're going to love money and hate me, or love me and hate money. It's kind of extreme the way he tried to explain it, but it's like, you can't love money. You can use it as a tool, but you can't love money and love God. And it's like, whenever something competes with God, that's a God. It may not be a capital G God, but that's a God. So Donald Trump is a God because people worship him more than they worship Jesus. Not only that people worship him more than they worship Jesus, you got Christians who worship Donald Trump more than they worship Jesus. That right there is crazy. Although Donald Trump may have only served a 4-year term, he literally probably is the greatest president of all time. When I mean greatest president of all time, I'm not saying greatest as far as like what he has done for the country. I'm talking about the greatest president of all time in the sense that as far as no one has ever been more influential than him. In a sense, it seems like he's almost like influential like Hitler was, bro. Like the way Hitler was influential to the Germans seems very similar to how influential Donald Trump is to Americans. And not all Americans, obviously, because most people who look like me, we're not really Trump supporters because we feel like Trump don't like us. I mean, Trump has shown many examples throughout the years of Donald Trump showing his disdain for black people. The majority of black people don't really vibe or subscribe to Donald Trump's agenda or whatever he's going about. Also, too, a lot of Latino Americans don't as well, because he's talk about building the wall and things like that. But believe it or not, there's a lot of black Trump supporters and a lot of Latino and Latina Trump supporters, even though they're kind of more like rare. The reason why Trump, so all throughout the different societies, right? You had the Greek society, that's the ones we know about, but even different African societies, different countries in Africa, there has always been gods. From the Greeks to the Romans, probably the same thing. Egyptians, there has always been gods. Now, in this monotheistic society within America, we are a Christian society because on the dollar it says, "In God we trust." This country was supposed to be established off of Christian principles, even though they had slavery for like 400 years, which goes totally against what Jesus stands for. This country has Christian principles. So we don't like to say that we have gods, like pagan gods, like these other countries and stuff. But the truth of the matter is, yo, what the heck, bro? Dang. The truth of the matter is, every society has had gods. And the truth of the matter is, the American society has gods as well. It doesn't look like the gods of like the Greeks, the Romans, and the Egyptians, these different cultures across Asia and different things like that. It doesn't look like, Hinduism and things like that. It doesn't look like these idols that that people worship and stuff like that. Nah, our idols in America and our gods, lowercase g, in America are, I've been saying this for a very long time, it's celebrities. We literally glorify and worship these celebrities as if they're gods when they're really just regular people. Honestly, I have a social media. I'm doing pretty well on social media, especially on TikTok, and I have 2.4 million followers. And the way people treat me, I'm a regular dude, and the way people treat me, they treat me like I'm a god. And I'm like, my nigga, I'm not no god. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm a regular dude who just loves to make videos and loves to make people laugh and loves to make people just enlighten people. I like to make people laugh and enlighten people to the truth. So it's like, if they looking at me, I got 2.4 million followers and my videos reached over 400 million views last year altogether on my videos on TikTok. And they're looking at me like a god. Imagine what they're looking at people like Beyonce, Jay-Z, and then when you go as far as the president. So when I say Donald Trump is a god, I'm saying he literally is a god amongst all the other gods and idols that us Americans worship. We worship a lot of these gods and stuff like that. Like they're not gods, bro. They're not gods. I'm a millennial, so I've watched Donald Trump throughout all the years climb the ranks of like success. Like he's already been known like as a business mogul and things like that. But I watched him climb the ranks of success as far as like being a celebrity. Like he literally went from being just a celebrity god to like now he's like a god, whereas like people are like the fact that people are making videos saying that they will literally die for him just shows that how much influence he has.
What would you say to Donald Trump if you were talking to him right now?
I'd say you're the greatest president of our lifetime, and I'm 65, and I've seen a lot going on that is so false and fraudulent, it sickens me, and I will die standing in my boots as a patriot for this country. If this goes wrong, it's not gonna be good.
There you have it.
It's kind of amazing because the president is the highest, they say it's the highest seat in the world. It's the highest position of power and a position of influence in the world because America is number one. Now, I've only lived in America my whole life, so I've always heard that America is the number one country. Everybody wants to be like America, but I've never lived outside of the country, so I don't know what other countries are really saying about us. This is based on what people have told me about America, that America is number one and everybody wants to be like us. Now, I do know that our military is super strong. I do know we have embassies and we have planted ourselves in so many different countries, which is kind of weird because if somebody was to plant themselves in our country, we have fit. But the fact that we just plant ourselves in, just different places like Indonesia, we have literally embassies and bases all over the place. We just plant ourselves there. It shows the level of influence and power America has. Y'all probably watching this video thought I was gonna get into something different, talk about Donald Trump and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying, get into something real political. I'm not into political stuff, bro. I really am not. But it kind of astounds me that this is a human being who was born as a baby just like you that has this level of influence, and if he says that to do something, you guys are literally just almost like, it almost reminds me of somebody saying like, if your friend says you jump off a bridge, will you jump off a bridge? Or if your friend jump off a bridge, will you jump off a bridge too? Donald Trump supporters, they seem like they would jump off a bridge if Donald Trump jumps off a bridge. That's what kind of makes it kind of like, it's kind of crazy, but it's actually very interesting and intriguing because the level of influence he has is something to be studied. That influence is something that could be used for good or it could be used for bad. You see what I'm saying? I think that's exactly why Donald Trump went ahead to try to pursue presidency and get that type of position, because I think he wanted that level of influence, that level of power. He was always climbing the ranks of power, and then it's like, what's higher than that? And I remember when Donald Trump declared his presidency, people took it as a joke. He was like, I'm running for president. People literally took it as a joke, just like when Kanye West said, I'm running for president. Like when Kanye West said, I'm running for president, we just took it as a joke. Like, my nigga, you're really gonna run for president, bro? You have no political background. It's hilarious, it's funny, it's laughable. I'm even doing the hands like Donald Trump. I'm even doing the hands. It's laughable, you know. That's my best Donald Trump impression. I don't really know how to do an impression of him like that. I guess it needs a little bit more work. But when Donald Trump first declared that he wanted to be president, we laughed at it, bro, because we all knew that he did not have a political background. All he did was business. And after watching this documentary, I realized he was in debt a lot. And half of the things that he did, he got loans from the bank. I'm thinking that he's just this rich mogul guy, you know what I'm saying, making all these business moves and things like that. And I watched this documentary recently on Netflix, and I'm like, this guy built his whole empire off of getting big $100 million loans from these banks to build these hotels, and figuring out a way to negotiate not to get any taxes, not to be taxed on his hotel, like literally for 20 years. Like he have like a thing where it's like a deal where they won't taxes, they won't put taxes on his loan, or I forgot how it goes. You know, I'm still trying to learn business, but he'll basically get a $100 million loan to build his hotel and not get taxed at all, which is low-key unheard of. Just recently, Donald Trump, he got banned from social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I think Twitter was the first one. I think YouTube, Pinterest. Really? There's some funny ones on there that he got banned from. I'm like, how did he get banned from these joints? Like, the reason why he got banned from these social media platforms because social media is power. And it's like, you literally from your phone, like I'm recording this video on my phone right now. You literally from your phone can get a message out to hundreds of thousands to millions of people within seconds. And that's very, very powerful because you don't need, the outlet is your phone and the internet. And you can literally send the most dangerous message with a click of a button. The 5-second video clip message and a click of a button, you can literally determine the whole wave of how the American society is going to act for the next progression of history. When people stormed the Capitol, stuff like that, and they were rioting and they was, you know, pretty much looting and rioting, and they stormed the Capitol and they broke the windows and they went in there and they took pictures, and it was just in that joint taking pictures with police officers, which is kind of weird, and they were pretty much taking a stand against the fraudulent votes of Biden, Joe Biden and things like that. The fact that these white people went in there and they stormed the Capitol is dangerous, because the reason why these people, these Trump supporters, did the thing that they did is because they believe that's what Donald Trump wanted them to do. That's pretty dangerous. They literally vandalized, broke in and entered into, which is a criminal offense. They broke in and entered into a Capitol, a government building, the Capitol. Let that be some black people that did that. Come on, guys. Let's be real. Let's be real. Y'all are very biased towards black people. And then some people say, oh, go back to your country. Nigga, we built this country. Let's just be real. With our own hands. With the many, many inventions that black people made and contributed to society. With the American culture of music and entertainment. There's so many things that we contribute to the society. We have a place here as well. Some even believe that we were here before Columbus even came. Black people were here. They came and colonized and enslaved the black people that were already here, which they don't want, which they're trying to take out of history because they don't want us to realize that this is actually our land, black people's land. I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole other subject within itself. The purpose of this video is to really acknowledge how influential and how powerful Donald Trump is, and that he is a modern day God, lowercase g. He is a modern day lowercase g God. And you guys, it's undeniable. His movement is just crazy. See, all because